Hello friends, welcome to this video. Myself Mohit Chadha, and today I am going to talk about one of the most interesting and unknown aspects of Mahabharata, and we will be discussing further on that topic. We will look further if situation had been changed, it would have mattered or not. Now I want to tell about such a brave warrior during this video which led to the death of the mighty beast on the 10th day of Kurukshetra war between Kauravas and Pandavas of the epic Mahabharata. The name of that brave warrior is Sikhandi, whose original or say birth name is Sikhandi. All of you must be wondering who is the Sikhandi. Now let's discuss the story of underdog Sikhandi in a brief and animated way. All of you must be wondering who is the Sikhandi. In the majority of the version of the Mahabharata, there is the story of Sikhandi being Amba in his previous birth. Sikhandi or Sikhandini has been born in the previous lifetime as a woman named Amba. Amba was the eldest daughter of King of Kashi. She had two younger sisters, Ambika and Ambalika. The Adi Parva of the Mahabharata narrates about Amba Swayamvar at the kingdom of Kashi. Amba and Sarva, the king of Sobara, were secretly in love, and Amba had promised to place the Varmala on his neck. Bhishma came to know of the ceremony of the three beautiful princes and went to the Swayamvara to bring the princess for his stepbrother Vichitravirya. Once arrived, Bhishma announced his intention to abduct the brides, challenging the assembled suitors to stop him. Bhishma forced the princess into his chariot and rode away. The king followed and shot Bhishma with arrows. However, Bhishma returned the attack and defeated them. Charva challenged Bhishma for a duel. Bhishma overpowered and wounded Charva, but spared his life. Unaware of Amba's feeling, Vishnu proceeded to Hastinapur and presented them to Satyavati, who made arrangements for their marriage to Vichitravirya. Amba approached Vishnu and called a council of Brahmins and revealed that she and Shava were in love with each other and that she was going to choose him as her husband in the Swayamvara. Bhishma considered that her reasoning was sound and sent her to Sava with honors. While Ambika and Ambalika were married to Vichitravirya, Bhishma ensured that Amba was safely to Sava kingdom. Ambas informed Sava that she had come for him. Sava restored that he no longer desired her, as she was to wed to another man. He declared that she was rightfully won by Vishnu, who defeated and insulted him, and the other kings and accused her of happily living with him. Amba prayed with Sarva, whom she considered her true love, to accept her, but Sarva retreated Shastriya Dharma and refused to accept her. Rejected, the frustrated Amba left Sobara and went to the forest. In other version, Amba peeved by his rejection, then went to Bhishma and him saying she saying that he was responsible for all her problems. Bhishma tried to convince Vichitravirya to marry Amba, but he rejected her on the plea that she was in love with someone else. She then approached Vishnu to marry her. He also refused due to his vow of celibacy. This further infuriated Amba as she had now been scorned by three people. She appealed to various kings to defeat Bhishma and do her justice, but all of them refused. Finally, she went into the forest. Amba reflected on her condition and considered all the people responsible for it, including herself. As she did not escape Bhishma's chariot when Bhishma was fighting Sarva, Bhishma who abducted her, Sarva who rejected and her father who arranged for Swayamvara. She finally arrived at the conclusion that Bhishma was the main culprit and swore to destroy him by battle. She sought shelter with a group of ascetics that the night and narrated her tale to them. There the learned sage consulted Amba and promised to guide her in the war. The other sages discussed among themselves Amba's situation and contemplated her alternatives and advised her to return to her father. And there are only two true protectors of the woman, the father and the husband. However, Amba declined, deciding to practice austerities on the former king and Amba's maternal grandfather. Passed by the gods. Parshurama entered the conflict and the battle was declared a draw. Parshurama narrated the events to Amba and told her to seek Bhishma's protection. However, Amba refused to and left angrily declaring that she would achieve her objective by execution. Amba gave up food and sleep and practiced exercising standing still for 6 months in the Yamuna River valley, surviving only on air. She became emaciated and developed matted locks. After that, she stood in the waters of the Yamuna without food and practiced austerities. After that, she spent time standing on her tiptoes, having eaten only one fallen leaf of a tree. Her penance for 12 years started burning the heavens and the earth. She then went to Vatsa kingdom, in which many renowned sages lived. She roamed the kingdom, bathing in the scared waters of the Ganga and the Yamuna. Then she visited the ashram of many sages like Narada, Ulluka, Syavana, Madhya, Divileka, Ramnarda, and Garga, as well as scared cities like Prayag, Bogoti, and Holy Groves. During her journey, she observed difficult woes and performed ablution in the holy waters. The goddess Ganga appeared before Amba and listened to Amba's tale that her austerities were aimed to destroy Bhishma, that was grandson. The angry goddess Ganga replied that since Amba's mind was crooked, would be become a crooked and tortoise river, which will remain dry for 8 months and flow in the 4 months of the rainy season. Ganga declared that the bathing places along the river's course would be in difficult terrain, and it will be infested with crocodiles and other fierce creatures. The cursed Amba wandered, practicing severe rules and foregoing food and water for months. She visited many tirthas in this time and finally returned to Vatsa, where Ganga's curse materialized. Half of her became the river Amba and the other half remained human due to her extreme merit. The ascetics of Vatsa discouraged her to refrain from the austerities, but Amba maintained her resolve and told them her desire was to be born a man and slay Bhishma to avenge her mistake. The god Shiva appealed to her and blessed her that she would become a man in her next birth and destroy Bhishma. Amba would be born to the king Draupadi of Panchala and become a great warrior. Amba would remember her previous birth and hatred of Bhishma, pleased with the boon. Amba created a vernal pyre of wood on the banks of the Yamuna and jumped in the fire, saying for Bhishma's discretion. In some version of the story, Sikhandi is male but born female. When Sikhandini even changes her sex, she becomes Sikhandi but is a eunuch. According to C. Raja Gopalachari Bhagavata, when Sikhandini was still a young woman, she discovered a garland of ever-blooming blue lotuses hung on the palace gate. Sikhandini put it around her neck. When Draupadi saw his daughter wearing the garland, he became fearful of becoming Bhishma's enemy, and Sikhandini was banished from the kingdom. She performed austerities in the forest and was transformed into a maid, named Sikhandi. See another version of the story. Draupadi desires on hair and wanders the forest to settle his disquieted mind. He comes upon Sikhandi. Sikhandi is born to divine created from Shiva. When Draupadi picks her way up, a heavenly voice tells Draupadi to raise her as a man. Obada raised his kingdom daughter as a son and had Sikhandi married to Princess of Dasana. She complains to her father Hiranyavarna that her husband was a woman. When the king sent people to check this fact, Sikhandi panicked and escaped into a forest where she met the Yaksha, who exchanged his sex with her. The Yaksha king sees the Yaksha as a girl and curses him that he will remain in the form she Sikhandi lies, keeping the sex swap in palace. In many versions of the story, the change results in Sikhandi being a eunuch. In others, it doesn't. In some version of the story, Amba is simply reborn as a male Sikhandi, sometimes whole and sometimes a eunuch. In even other versions, Sikhandi is a male but transgender. Due to Shiva's boom that Amba will remember all the details of her past life. In early versions of the Mahabharata, Sikhandi is still Amba reborn but a straight female. Because Panchara doesn't practice gender discrimination, she is tried to become a warrior and fights in the Kurukshetra war. This being the original reason why Amba kills herself again and again, waiting to be reborn to a culture that will arrow for her to fight Bhishma. In the Ganguri translation of the Chakraborty compilation, Sikhandi has son whose name was Kastradeva. In the battle of Kurukshetra, Bhishma recognized him as Amba, reborn, and not went in to fight a woman or an actual woman depending on the vulture. Avoiding battling Sikhandi. On the 10th day, Sikhandi rides in Arjuna's chariot and together they face Bhishma, forcing him to lower his weapons. Knowing that this would happen, Arjuna hid behind Sikhandi and attacked Bhishma with a devastating volley of arrows. Thus, Sikhandi was instrumental in Bhishma's death. Sikhandi was finally killed by Ashwatthama on the 18th day of battle. Dazed and confused, Sikhandi is killed in the sword fight with Ashwatthama. When Ashwatthama, Kripachari and Kirtivarma attack the Pandava camp on the right of the final day of battle. In some versions of the Mahabharata, Ashwatthama kills Sikhandi's lover, which is male or female, in front of him. In other versions, it is Sikhandi's partner, male or female, who is butchered. If Sikhandi had not been in the war, was it possible to kill Bhishma by the Pandavas? Winning the war was easy for Kauravas if Bhishma was alive. Krishna's aim was to kill Bhishma first. Because of Krishna's knew if Bhishma was not dead soon, Pandavas will easily be defeated. So here, if according to the plan, Sikhandi comes and kills the Bhishma. If Sikhandi was not there in the war, Krishna might had other plan to kill Bhishma soon. Bhishma's death was the first biggest turning point for the Pandavas. If Sikhandi was not there to kill Bhishma, Krishna might have himself entered the battlefield and using the chakra to kill Bhishma. Or else Krishna might have told Arjuna to kill Bhishma. Krishna was full of anger because Bhishma was so strong that no one could stand in because Sikhandi was given a wish in the last birth that she is the only person who can kill Bhishma. If Sikhandi was not there, it might have not been easy to kill Bhishma because he is only person who has the strongest of all. It might have been taken a long time to kill Bhishma because the sin gave up easily. He was manipulated and distracted from the battlefield and emotionally blackmailed. He was killed when he disarmed himself. So here I end it note by saying think what has to happen will happen. We all know what to change them. We cannot write our own destiny nor plan. We can put our all efforts to design our destiny to make it full worth of it. We can make a choice to live or die. That is part of little it may come earlier to or later. We may skip the death, but there is no escape. Thank you friends for watching this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, then please like the video and share it. If if you guys want to see further more videos, then do subscribe my channel or hit the bell button for latest updates.